Hey, what is up, guys? Thank you so much for joining me. I am Adam Palmer. I'm one of the top freelancers on Upwork around the world. I am trying to help you become the next freelance king here, guys. Freelancing is just blowing up these last couple of years, and I am here to try and help you navigate these crazy waters so you can land some awesome gigs and start working from wherever you are in the world. Now, I created this guide for creating the perfect profile, okay? Because I feel profiles are the most important thing to get gigs, to get these high-paying jobs. This is more important than the proposals, because if you've seen my 10 rules for proposal writing, number one is to have an awesome profile, because that's part of every single proposals. The clients, if they're interested, they're gonna wanna check out what's going on in your profile page, you know? So it's important to have that thing look awesome. So I developed this little guide here. So I got this guide. If you go into the bottom here, you'll find a link. You could find all these free tools at freelanceking.com/tools, and you can grab it there for free now, so you can follow along with me. So if you want to pause real quickly and go do that, I'll be right here, right? Okay, ready? Press play now, okay? Welcome back. The first thing I like to do is figure out what are the keywords, what's the hook here? What are you doing? For me, that was marketing. And the keywords that I used to look at were like, what's the vocabulary that people are using in this field? So a lot of people were talking about funnels, digital marketing, evergreen, scarcity, automation, all these things, right? Like, these are the buzzwords. My agency company name is Automate Scale. Like, people are always saying like, oh, Adam, I'm trying to automate and scale my business. So I'm like, okay, that should be my agency name. Cool. You know, these are the types of things. So first things first, I want you to, and if you're looking at your guide, if not, just look here on top. It says like all these keywords that you know. So whether that's design, break it up into pieces. The more you can unpack, the better, right? So that's why I put like 15 different options here, because they correlate with the skills that you can plug into Upwork and also the keywords. So you're gonna use this when they're asking you what skills you know. So it's good to write these all out. The next thing is the software platforms, because just like the keywords, this type of information, this data, these are nice points of data to have on your profile. So if a client's scanning through it, or if even Upwork's algorithms are scanning through it, they can pick up on this. I think that sometimes these platforms are even more important to write than the keywords themselves. For instance, when I was getting on and creating my profile, I was really honing in on the software platforms that I was getting really good at. These were your Infusionsoft, your Active Campaigns, WordPress, Photoshop, Samcart, all these very niche platforms that are used for the specific clients that I work with, I would throw out there. If I was working with real estate people or something like that, I would focus maybe on Podio. Or if I was in corporate sales, like I would look into Salesforce. So these types of platforms are gonna correlate with the clients that you're trying to find, because the people in the different industries are using different platforms, and there's tons of those. If you guys actually check out automatescale.com/software, you can actually see a lot of the platforms that we use, and those are the same platforms that I generally put into my profile. So if clients are looking at needing help, they could see like, oh, Adam knows this platform. He wrote it down. They don't know you know something unless you write it down. So just think about that, guys. So that's why I think it's such a good idea to first write down all your keywords, write down the platforms. And the third thing I want you guys to do, if you're going through this guide right now, is write down the freelancers that you like. When I was first starting getting on, I perused other freelancers. I grabbed a lot from other people's stuff. Like, you know, it's not like I was lying. I knew this stuff too, but they just saved me the time of kind of thinking it through, and you can edit it and change it. And I obviously have people that have copied off of me and done the same thing. And what am I gonna get mad about it? No, it's like, it's kind of, everybody's building on each other and making themselves better. And you kind of have to think about this whole thing as an abundant marketplace, right? So, you know, look at what other people are doing. Look at how, like, what's making them great, and you know, and follow along with them. If they're doing a video, do a video. I highly suggest do a video, but pay attention. Pay attention to how they're laying out the data in their bio. Pay attention to all the things they're filling out, the skills, the keywords, and all of that. The next thing, part 4 of the guide, I have, you know, put notes on your video, your pictures, your headlines, and your descriptions, because these are the main parts of the profile. So you want to make sure, you know, you have your professional photo. You want to make sure that you do have at least an intro video to help them connect with you, to help break that kind of trust barrier down a little bit, because the client's going to be able to see you, you know, and that means a lot. Description notes, you know, like I mentioned earlier, start thinking about what you want to write in your bio. Now, here's the thing, guys, use whatever they have, because that's really going to help with search, SEO, and it's going to be good for clients. Now, this is on the contrary of like when I'm writing proposals. If you watch my 10 rules of writing proposals video, you'll see that I don't like to really write long proposals. I like to keep them tight, because my goal is to get them to click from, you know, the short little proposal summary and then get them to click to the profile. And then that can be very long. You want to really keep people on your profile as long as possible, because they're going to educate themselves more, and that's on them whether they want to take that time. If you send like a really long proposal, it could be a turnoff at first. And then here I have a service note. So really kind of figure out, like, what are you offering? What are you going to give? What are your current skills? And do you have any kind of goals of upskilling? And start to think about, okay, right now I know some copywriting, but maybe I can learn some sales copywriting or take that to the next level. My rule of kind of upskilling is extend yourself by about 15% to 20% on things. Like, you don't want to ever take a job where you're clueless about, right, guys? Like, you know, if you don't know any design, like, you obviously don't want to take a design job. But if you know design, and if it's advertising design or something that's like a little beyond what you currently know, it's about kind of building off the foundation that you've already created for that particular skill. So I like to, again, extend myself a little bit, because if you keep extending yourself a little bit, 15%, I mean, after 4 or 5 projects, you have like 100% a new skill, if you think about it. Like, it's pretty crazy, and you can keep building on that. And that's gonna directly correlate with the amount that you guys can charge. So it's very important to keep on upskilling. Now, I want you guys to write down like your ideal client. Like, who are you looking for? Is it industry-wide, product-wide? Just get these things out. You've had clients that have had particular challenges. What have you done to help them alleviate those challenges, to overcome those challenges? These are going to be the really nice things that you can include in your profile here. And goals, you know, like, what's your plan here? Why are you here? Is this like you want to become the best freelancer? Are you trying to start an agency? And how is this going to correlate with what the client needs? For me, for instance, I come in as like I'm a kind of marketing consultant. I used to get my hands dirty and do all the work of digital marketing and all that stuff. And now I have an agency, and that was my plan, to kind of just get on the consulting side of things and educate, and then have a team that can kind of build whatever I want to build. And you know, that was my goal from the beginning. As you guys know, you know, it's a lot of work freelancing sometimes. So it's not always like your plan just can't be just grind for 10 years. I've been grinding for like 5 years, and finally I'm starting to see that goal come into fruition where the team works and everything like that. But this is somewhat of a goal that I was laying out. And by having that, the clients were attracted to that because they knew I meant business. So you're kind of presenting yourself like someone beyond just a gig worker, someone just picking this up this weekend and, you know, hoping to help someone, because the client's not going to feel good about that. You know, this isn't a charity thing. Like, they ultimately want their goals completed. So you need to show them that their goals align with your goals, and you know what you're doing, so they are going to optimize, you know, everything. That's what I want you guys to kind of write out and get onto paper. And that's why I think the guide's a really good idea. The next thing, guys, if you go to the third page on here, it's the checklist. So before you guys publish your profile, I really want you to go through this checklist and just make sure you're hitting all the boxes, okay? So I'm gonna take you through this really quickly. Again, hopefully you have this downloaded, you're checking it out, but I'll just, I'll go along with you here. Your profile photo. Is it high resolution? Is there a white background? Does it look professional? This changes a lot. I'm seeing much better photos these days, but when we first got on the system, it was very like basic, street clothes, like, you know, put a suit on. Like that will present a great image. Like I don't really normally wear suits. You see me in a white V-neck tee all the time, but in my profile, I mean business, and you want to present that. Is it cropped correctly? Is it centered, or is it like all over the place? And is it you guys? Is it you? Again, this doesn't normally happen as much now, but it did in the past, and people thought they could just put some other profile picture on there, and no, it needs to be you. The headline. Are you using the right keywords that you went over in part one? Okay, because again, the SEO, the search, it's huge. Are you maximizing word count? Are you taking this to the end, like writing as much as you can? The more, the merrier. Are you doing that? Does it convey authority? Are you coming in there like a limp noodle, just being pushed around? Or are you someone that knows this business that can actually help people? Again, start with what you know and build off of that. And that can be anything. If you know how to write emails or receive them, confidently say you are great at Gmail or G Suite. You know all of these things. You've been helping as a VA, you're on top of things. It could be more of like I'm on point. Like you give me something, I will show up. And guys, that is the main thing here. Clients want freelancers that are gonna do what they say they're gonna do. I always say that in my videos because it is the least skill out of freelancing, not just Upwork, but anything. Most freelancers, I'd say, again, it's getting better and better and more competitive, but a lot of them just are taking this on as a possible thing that they may do and blah, blah, blah. That's not gonna convince a client to give you money, okay? The client's gonna give someone that is presenting authority, that they feel good about that person doing what they say they're gonna do. And that's it. So you have to convey authority with what you know, okay? You have to muster up the courage to be convincing, to own that copywriting within that proposal, because that's what's going to convince strangers to pay strangers, guys, because that's what's going on here. And does it fit your personality? Just because it has authority, it should also correlate with you. Because when they do get on the phone with you or when they see your work, it should be one and the same. And by having a little bit of personality, showing that you're a real person, people really like likable people, especially on Upwork when they're working with freelancers. They don't want someone that's passive and lazy and is gonna wait for things. They want someone that's gonna good for their team, someone that they can talk to, have a real conversation with. The first time I get on the phone with a lot of my potential clients, it's really not straight down to business. It's, do I like this person? Because you have to interview them just as much as they have to interview you. So you guys gotta like each other. It needs to feel good, warm. If they're too uptight or is gonna bother you, and send you off your strategy and your goals, then that is not a good client for you. So you may as well just cut it early, because taking the wrong clients can significantly hurt you. So you wanna avoid that. So you really do need to fit your personality within your profile, so you're not accidentally taking on the wrong people, and you're having a little bit of a filter to repel anyone that's just gonna hurt you at the end of the day. 3, the video. Again, you added a quick video intro, right? Are you able to check that? Because I really do think you guys should just take your phone, put it up there, do an intro thing. You don't need a studio like I have. Just anything. I put up a video and it was so bad when I started. It was really not good. It's still up there today, and it's gotten me over $1 million of revenue. Okay, so just have one up there. And does it have a call to action in the video? Are you saying, hey, if you like me, let's get on a call or something like that, or check out my profile at xyandz.com. Just have something they can then do, right? Call to action. What is your rate? And is your hourly rate, and this is the main thing, guys, is your hourly rate, yes, competitive, in line, and blah, 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 blah. You can follow everyone else, and people have all these ideas about rates and this and that, but at the end of the day, is your rate gonna make you excited to show up, to make you stop what you're doing and concentrate? Is it worth the opportunity cost of other things? It should be. You should be freaking excited to work. That is the whole goal of this. Every point of this whole thing, I've been stoked to work. I mean, even at $45 an hour, I was pretty stoked. I was enamored by the fact that you can turn your laptop into an ATM machine, you know, and just like be working for a company and getting paid for it. So it should get you excited. Beyond that, do not compete on price ever, period, because there's just no reason to. The clients aren't even that into it. It is a myth. A myth, a myth, a myth. Clients just want to go with the cheapest freelancer. That is the craziest, dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And anyone who says them, tell them that I regularly get paid $550 an hour for stuff that probably a $50 an hour person could do, with the exception of like the consulting end of it. But if I'm actually like working on things, that's why I brought an agency in, because I'm like, there's other people that could do this stuff, and I could charge my clients a lot less, and I don't have to like spend all my time and get my hands dirty. I can just stay a little more high level and stay on the consulting side. I gotta tell you, when it was like $100, $200 an hour, I was still getting as many clients getting me to actually just work like on the time tracker as when I had, 45. It made no difference, because what I say, guys, the most expensive freelancer, you know who that is? They F up the entire project. That's the most expensive freelancer, because you know why? You have to spend all this time onboarding that new freelancer, spending time getting them up to speed, getting them the passwords, the admin, setting them up, then they work on it. Then 3 weeks later, you're like, this person, I tried to save some money, but this person doesn't know anything. Now I'm backwards. So now the client has to repair what this guy did, if they can repair it, fire them, rehire someone else, start from scratch. Actually, maybe start from back, because the new person has to fix the old person. It's a nightmare. So it's almost like triple or 4 times the amount of cost, plus everything's getting delayed months now. So you're missing out on possible income because everything got buggered up. So rates should really just be reflective of what you want, not what the client wants. You just need to have authority of why this rate is what it is. You got these skills and blah, 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 and you can save time and this whole thing. So don't compete on price and have a rate that is good. You should be able to check that off. In your description, did you convey authority? Like I said, in the first sentence. For me, I go right into, I'm one of the top freelancers in the system. I've worked with X, Y, and Z and have brought in X amount of revenue. Bam, 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 right from the start. Did you reference high valued work or clients early on? Like I said, that's one of the first things you do to build authority, is reference some things that you've done, but not testimonials, again. Did you make sure you used all the keywords and platforms that you used in section 1? Did you make sure to break up different sections so it is easy on the eyes of viewers, subsections? So you can, you have the space on there, you can put, you can leverage emoticons to try and break it up, but don't go crazy. You can just organize it so they can be like, okay, these are past stuff and for this type of work, or, if I'm doing copywriting stuff, I'm talking about copywriting, just, to break it up. And guys can check out my profile to see how I broke it up a little bit. For your portfolio, did you put your best foot forward first? It's like, because that's the one they're going to see early on. Is it linked to the client, if allowed? Again, that's going to help with that authority. Is it presented well? Maybe hire a designer, and it's really not expensive. That's what I did, to just present it a little better. If you have the time to do it, awesome. You can go to Canva and make some stuff. If not, it's sometimes easier just to have someone help with this, and it can be really good. But if not, use Canva or something like that. Did you use videos in your portfolio to provide context? This is something really powerful that Upwork allows you to do. After you've completed a project, you can go back and actually make a video going through that whole project. And that's really awesome, because it does 2 things. It shows the potential client something similar, and shows them also that you know your stuff and you're building a relationship. It's just like the intro video. It's helping them create that trust and lower any, of these other objections that they could be having, because now they know that you know what you're doing. It's something similar. You are who you say you are, and it's also possibly just giving them some value, right? And that's great. If you can actually provide value, and I think I do this a little bit because I'm going through these projects, but if they can be like, wow, that's actually something I'd like to build, man, that's really good, because now they're looking at you like someone that knows something that they don't and can come to you for more advice. So it could convert right into consulting very early on in your career in Upwork. So just some things to think about there. Organized so clients can browse easily. Obviously, that's important. And can you show results? Can you show sales increasing? Can you show opt-ins or contacts increasing? Can you show quality increasing, like before and after for design? So these are all things that, very powerful to see as a client. Testimonials. Even before you get some reviews, you can even get a testimonial. And this can be from someone on the system or even off the system. So I do suggest, if you're thinking about putting testimonials or reviews, copy and paste it into your bio, I would just go to the testimonial page and write it out and then get whoever wrote it to possibly approve it. Because that's going to be more powerful than just putting it in your bio. So just some food for thought there, guys. And if they are on the system already, then Upwork will verify that and actually put their icon on there. So the testimonial is actually really, really powerful as the reviews themselves. So again, something to think about, guys. Verification. Is your stuff ID, is it verified, and are you verified on phone? You need to do this both. Get this out of the way, because this is gonna help with the algorithm. Skills. Are you maxed out? Are you doing all of them, and are they relevant to your skill set? Can you honestly say that you know these things with authority? Project catalog. Do you have a service you can prepackage so that you may have more inbound traffic? So Upwork launched Upwork Project Catalog because the big thing they're trying to do is create this big SEO push, because Fiverr has really done a good job with, if someone's typing in Google like an individual job like logo, then a lot of times like Fiverr will pop up because it's an individual person talking about logo. And I think that Upwork is doing this also so they can have their individual catalog items from their freelancers get shown up in results. I think it's really important to leverage that, because Upwork's trying to push that, A, and B, on your profile, this stuff shows up right under the review section. And it could be nice, just like the reviews. Remember what I was saying about maybe hiring a designer or so? If you can figure out what your service is, and we talked about this section 4, number 5 with the service notes. If your services can be packaged and put into the project catalog, it's gonna be good for your profile, because it's visually appealing, and perhaps it can lead into bigger projects. All my project catalog products, all of them, like I have as many as you can have on there. I don't know if I've actually sold any of them, but I've gotten a lot of clients from them, because they normally just want to know more about it. And then we get into messaging, and then they just hire me like normal, hourly. So while I can't say like, oh, Project Catalog's been this like wild success for me and I'm selling all these products, that was never the intention, because most of my stuff's custom anyway. I'm doing consulting, and maybe I'll sell blocks, but I'd rather use the time tracker for reasons that I've mentioned a billion times on this channel. It's good to have the project catalogs out there so clients can kind of see different offerings laid out, organized, and it's very fresh, and it will probably lead to more conversations and to hourly work. So make sure that you were able to check that. Certifications added. If you're coming in for the first time and you've been working on your own and freelancing, you've developed all these certifications, put them down. Most platforms offer training. So let's say like Photoshop or HubSpot. HubSpot has all these academies and trainings and things like that. Just take them. Just go through. You'll learn something. You'll upskill. Not just HubSpot. A lot of platforms just have usually like a training in there. Salesforce. And you can take those certifications, put them right on Upwork. And again, this is great third-party objective helping of your profile. It's really powerful, guys. And especially early on, if you don't have a lot of reviews, you gotta leverage whatever you got. This could be some great ways of building authority. Employment history added. So just like, you know, if you're starting out right now, make sure that you're including relevant jobs that you've had in the past that can help potential clients understand what this guy or girl can do. Other experiences added. Can you check that off? Again, leverage all these spaces, even if they seem, you know, like, what do I put here? Just fill it in, like, especially with the other experiences, if you feel like it's relevant. And education. I just put my college, but, you know, if you guys have gone to any trade schools or night schools or anything, you know, put it in there. I don't think this is gonna win you over any gigs, but it may buttress the fact that you're a real human being that's taking this serious. So that will lower some concern from a potential client, because people want dedication. Hours per week, make sure it's open. I like to just keep it like that because, yeah, if you close it down or say like, oh, you know, I want to only work this amount of time per week, you know, I would just keep it open. And is the available now selected? And you got to make sure that's checked on too. So those last two, you know, pretty much go without saying, but just make sure it is, because it could not be. And these are ways when clients are doing searches for freelancers or they're posting a job, this is going to show this little badge of being available now. And I would say, guys, Upwork offers now the ability to spend a couple connects to have your profile seen more. If you're trying to have your profile seen more, I would do this, but don't do that until your profile is optimized. All those checks are checked, right? Like, you guys see this, right? I want you to check every single check mark on here and then talk to me. And then let's start talking about those proposals. Rewatch that proposal video once your profile is dialed in. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm having a lot of fun, like, helping people. Like, so any comments about, like, you know, other things you want me to teach or show you guys, please let me know. And if this has been helpful, please smash the like. It would help me so much. So thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.